Okay, it's Friday. Whoa, it is actually Friday, and it's okay. All right.
Guys, don't forget that you can go to Apple and you can subscribe to this podcast where you can listen to it ad-free, and you can actually have a free trial to see if you like it. Of course, you're going to like it, and you get bonus episodes. What did we say we're going to do the next bonus episode about?
I mean,
What was it again?
weight loss. Because it's still the ongoing thing. And my favorite thing is, before we get to sex, is that a lot of people are like, I have tried everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like 5 weeks and nothing. And I'm like, it has been a year, over a year. Like, it really is. It's hard to grasp. It's hard to grasp, but then when you see it and have to do it, then you're like, I fucking get it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't get it till you do it.
Mm-mm.
And it often doesn't last long enough for you to see results, but we can do a whole thing on that in the boner episode.
Oh, nice.
My least favorite word, weird. I should get into
know.
that. So I was going to say, this is sex and relationships. And I was thinking to myself, so often I've been seen.
Is this going to be juicy?
No.
Can you make a spin on it? Just for
You
my entertainment.
and me having to make you feel sex in your groin when I tell you, you want to go there.
No, I just want a
you
juicy
want
story.
me to tell you.
I just want a juicy story. No one ever does.
I mean, I wish I told you such juicy stories last time. Yes, I did.
Oh yeah.
Like,
no, I thought that you had something to say, and then you were gonna, and then it was going to be.
The problem that I'm doing is I'm asking questions, and then I forget to go back within 24
But what
hours.
were you going to say about relationships? You can go.
I do have a few funny ones, so I can tell you that after.
Yeah, after.
I was going to say that relationships are so complicated in marriage and in life.
Yes.
And you would think that as you get older, they would get easier.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think that as you have been together longer, they get easier and they get less complicated.
Oh my gosh.
And you would think that as you've been together, like, why is it that you can be with someone for so long and you still don't fully understand each other?
Because I feel like friendships, they naturally just blossom and grow and things get easier.
You just kind of like
with girls.
It's like a glove. It's like a mitt.
It gets worked in.
Like
a baseball glove.
mitt.
Yeah. You never want a new one because you just like
It's
that.
like it's really comfortable. Pair of jeans.
But I cannot believe that when I'm in certain situations that I have lived with that person for 18 years.
Like, okay. And then it's like, do you change? Do they change? Or is it the same things over and over again that you're seeing?
For me, I feel like it's the same thing over and over, which boggles my mind even more because I can't believe that 18 years we've been doing the same fucking dance. That's crazy.
I do.
Why can't we solve it?
And then I'm thinking, does every relationship have, there's got to always be issues. There can never be no issues in a relationship.
For sure.
Like, there's always something.
I think so.
I mean, I can't imagine if you didn't, what would that relationship look like? Oh my God.
You know what? That's probably what relationships are like in heaven. I'm not saying I believe in heaven. I'm just saying that would be pure bliss. To just live every day, nothing complicated, just be happy together.
But is one person complicated or are you both complicated? Because I feel like the other one thinks that, like, I feel like you look at each other like, actually, you're the complicated one. And they're like, no, you're the complicated one.
I would say in our relationships, that's exactly what we would be like.
Like, I could fix you. Give me 5 minutes and listen and I'll fix you. That's the exact opposite.
Although, I think we have become aware, although we're amazing and the best catches in the whole wide world, that I could see how a husband or type of person would find it a little challenging
to marry
us. I'm gonna say
you
us,
and me,
not just me.
Yeah. I'm getting better at being reflective. Like, absolutely, no, absolutely.
And the thing that would be difficult is the most interesting thing about us, I think.
Oh, you like to be difficult for you, like the identity of being a little bit tricky.
We don't mean to be this way. It's just that I see how they think that we're like, don't even My mom's FaceTiming me. Is it the baby?
She's there already?
Oh, let me just give it a quick one. Yes, Mom?
I made pesto.
You're such a good girl. I'm on a podcast, Mom. I'm talking about sex.
Not pesto.
No.
Okay, I need you tomorrow morning. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God, that was so funny. I made pesto. We're talking about wanky and veggie, and she's talking about pesto.
But
Is it complicated for her?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like, are there older people who it's just not complicated?
Right, like those old people that are walking down the street holding hands.
Or do they just meet at the retirement home and they're like bumping
those people are
nasties?
like, I've been with him for 50 years. He's the love of my life.
Okay. I think they've just given up or they've forgotten. They just forget. I'm with you. We might as well just make it a happy memory.
Hold on. I just love that we're like, some people just think being married for 50 years is the most like the celebration that people have. My parents have been together for 50 years. We've been married for 50 years. I think they've probably just given up.
I mean, like,
I totally
just giving up the
agree.
fights and giving, like, I'm so
Yeah.
fucking tired. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? They probably don't have sex anymore. They're probably just intimate. They probably hold hands. They probably cuddle. They probably put away their dentures and shit. And they just are like, she cooks the best pie I've ever eaten. And I just feel like it's like, they're just kind of like, yeah, like they sleep in separate beds.
And his penis probably doesn't work anymore.
They
Anyway.
sleep in separate beds. And they're like, I really liked you. That was a good run. We had some fun. And then it's like, let's go sail into the sunset.
Let's have some oatmeal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they have to eat soft things for their dentures.
We're really making older people sound beautiful, let me tell you.
Well, the funniest thing happened at the hockey rink once because the mom was handing out high chews, the candy, and she said, "Oh, does your mom have dentures?"
To you.
About my mom.
I thought she...
My mom goes, "No, I don't, but my daughter does." She asked if my mom had dentures. Does my mom look like old enough to have dentures? No. I know. My mom died laughing. She'll never forget it. She always talks about it every time she sees a gummy candy. Oh, I can't have it. I have my dentures.
Oh.
My mom doesn't even look that much older than the person that said it. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I was just thinking, I just thought, I'm like, it's so complicated.
I would think
Marriage is
I think your husband would probably say you're
complicated. Oh my God, 100%.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm crazy.
Yeah, they think we're crazy. And I think the biggest thing for Mark, and
I'm not traditional.
Yeah.
I'm not predictable. I'm not
That's
what
it.
he's used to.
It's not consistent.
I'm not like, I don't clean the house. I don't put my shit away. Like what he is used to in a traditional stay-at-home Italian, traditional, like what he is surrounded in. Mm-hmm. What his world is not me.
No, but I mean, aside from all that, your personality.
Oh, is not like that either.
No, not like that, but just like I don't think they think that we're easy, but it's mostly because the biggest thing for me, what Mark tries to insult me in is that you just never know with her. One day she loves this and the next day she doesn't want it. Like, so I find that exciting and intriguing. He finds that I don't even know her. She just changes her mind all the time. So
he actually knows you very well then.
I know.
He knows you better than anyone if he knows that.
Don't you want to change your mind? Don't you want to like have a new hobby or like a new thing? Like, isn't that fun? I guess there's people who consistency is very nice.
Oh, yes. That's like number one for most people. I mean, if my husband was me, I probably wouldn't marry him.
Oh, have we talked about this? Would you marry you?
Me. If I wasn't me, like,
no, if you're you,
would I marry
or
me?
Not high. If you're a guy right now, Mark dies. I love when I kill them off in this story. Mark dies. You're a man. You're a divorcee. You're a great catch.
Oh, well,
Hold on. You're a great catch. You are this man. Be this man.
Yeah.
Be him.
Yeah.
You're single.
Oh, yeah.
You're the man. You're not you.
Yeah.
Do you want to marry you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But my husband, no.
No, he's dead.
No, I mean, he probably would. I'm sure there's a few things he would change about me.
I know that's
But
actually
the
a good
divorcee would
present.
have a great time with me because he's not looking like he's divorced and he has been around the block once and he's like, you know what, that one's a good one. He's looking for a good time. He's not
Do
looking
you
for.
think that our husbands, because they don't like to play pretend,
I told you, yes, I think he would change things about me.
do you think that a gun to their head, they're in that confessional in the church,
Yeah.
and someone asks them, would you marry that lady now, or would you maybe marry something else?
My friend, I tried to ask this.
Oh, is that what we were talking about last
That
time?
was a trick question. I'm like, would you remarry me? Like, would you go back to 30?
Did
Would
you ask him?
Well, yeah, but I'm not answering that question.
No, but not going back to 30. You now.
I know, but I was like, would you marry me now if you were single?
Yeah.
Like, would you like saddle up and be like, that one I would marry?
I don't think that they're deep enough to think. I think they just love us and they're like, I wouldn't want to be with anybody else. But gun to their head, would they choose someone different now after seeing what they had to live with for all this time?
Probably.
I think so too. I think so too. I think so too. I think
Like,
so.
like
I don't think they regret
emotionally, no.
Right.
Logistically, yes. Like,
Yeah.
no, they're not trading us in.
No.
But like, if they could go back and be pragmatic
Yes.
and make a spreadsheet, absolutely.
And if they could have seen in the future of what it would have turned out like.
Oh yeah, on paper we're terrible.
Yeah.
On paper
I
we're
don't think-
actually, but in real life,
Yeah, so fun.
On paper, fucking terrible. Like really, I don't know what I offer. Not much.
We offer so much.
No, I don't. I mean, on
I know.
paper.
I know. So do you think that anybody's husbands, and okay, like I understand that I'm the only one who thinks about sleeping with everybody else's husbands, but do you think any other husband that we know, and I know guys don't think, but let's pretend they do for a second, would ever think she would be really fun to be married to, or an ex-boyfriend? Do you think any of them are like, she'd be a fun wife? I wish.
No. Us, you two of us? I don't think so. I think we're too much.
You don't think any man at the hockey rink is like,
I think that
I wish I would trade in my wife for that one.
Nope.
I'm glad those marks have to deal with them.
Yep.
Because my wife is safe at home.
Yep. I think we might be like a novelty, like we're in the novelty shop. Like that's funny.
Oh, we're
Yeah. Like
a fetish.
Yeah. No, I think we're too much of a headache.
Nobody? None of your brother's friends?
No.
No.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think we'd have a better chance at women than we would at men right now.
Totally agree.
I don't think there are many men that would.
Can you think of anyone who might want to marry us?
No, I really don't. I'm not saying that. I think here's the problem. I think in most relationships, what we have are like roles. So like the man does a thing, a woman does a thing, and then between you guys, you have kind of a relationship, but I don't know how many people live authentically to who they are. Like I don't know how many people actually are who they are, like to the core.
Because
with
it's
their
hard.
spouses.
Because it's hard. Right. With their spouses, right.
I think people go to work.
Let's not miss our podcast.
And there are different people. There are different people at work. I
Yeah.
think they go to like, I think it's a very, I think people constantly are struggling with like, how do they act in front of people? And I think the spouse often gets sort of like the worst version of who they are because you're with them all the time. And you expend everything during the day into the kids. And then you kind of get like, I think sometimes my husband's like, you get to just go have fun. But I have so much more capacity when we don't have life in here. Right. So I do feel like when you're so open, like really they put up with a lot of shit in terms of what everyone knows about our lives and who we are.
Sure. That's for sure. That's a big one.
And there's I think it would be very lovely if we were low-key and we made dinners and went to every game and
that would be
wore
nice.
team colors
That'd be
and
nice.
then dropped the kids off, picked the kids up, and we knew where we were going and what we were doing.
That'd be
Not
nice.
like what like it's like we are like running around. Like he always sends me videos now of like, you know, like the husband and the, like now it's like turning around. Like now it's like two people who load the dishwasher, the one who like, and the other one who's like a raccoon threw it in. Like you and I are raccoons.
Yeah.
So I do
And
think
it's like when we get to a hotel room, thank God we're the same. Hassan goes and drops off his suitcase in his room and then he comes to meet us and he's like, no two people can destroy a room in like, in such a little amount of time. how did it get like
So
this?
traditionally, we offer nothing. Like traditionally. And that's what our husbands were raised in, was on tradition.
Traditionally, I think we offer really
Family memories.
and but we also offer like we have. I mean, I know our families are kind of crazy, but like we offer really like our
Yeah.
husbands get our moms.
Yep.
That's a score.
Yep.
So our moms,
My brother, like, yeah, no, they get,
you plan lots of fun things.
no, I'm not, listen, I am a keeper, babe.
No, I'm just looking at things on the traditional list that we could maybe
Not
fall
much.
into. I could cook.
Yeah, but we don't much.
No, but when I do, I can. You're a good planner.
A good baker.
We're good moms. You're a good baker.
I just mean, I feel like marriage is a lot of missed expectations. And I feel like there's a lot of like, if you did this, then we'd be fine. If you did it like that, then we'd be fine. Like, rather than showing up and understanding who that person is, you want them to be someone they might not be. And I feel like that's where a lot of fights come from, is like, if only you changed a little bit like this, then everything would be perfect. But nothing's never going to be perfect. So, but I think that people think that if they just did this, it's not like that. But we know that. But I don't know if other sides know that. And I feel like marriage is this constant, like, he doesn't do this for me. They don't do this for me. They don't do this for me. And if only they did that, then that would make me happy. And then we'd have a happy relationship. And that's just not how life is. Because I don't think anyone ever tells you, you are only as happy in a relationship as you are happy with yourself.
Yeah, totally.
And if you're not 1000% happy with yourself, no one, you're always going to be disappointed in a relationship. Someone's always going to disappoint you. Someone's always going to fail you.
Because a lot of the reason when it gets down to it is if you're not totally happy with yourself, often it's because you haven't really found who you really are and what you really like. So you're asking someone else to fulfill something that you haven't even found. And that's not fair to them. And that's not fair to you.
And you can get mad at them for everything that they're not constantly. Like you can,
it's so hard. Like I always sympathize.
Because you fall in love.
I always sympathize with people who don't know who they are. No, but I sympathize with people who are
90%
like,
of the population.
I know. And it's so, I'm so frustrated for them because we've had people like tell us like, I don't know. Like, I just want to be confident. I don't
even think it's confidence. I think it's honest to God.
But they think it is confidence,
Yeah.
but really it is just a comfortability with who you are. And that equals confidence.
And not chasing something that you because I think that for men, like their identities get tied into, like for some men, not all men, what they provide, what their house looks like, what they like, the overall picture of like an aesthetic life. And then I don't know how many men know how to show up. It's what we kind of had the conversation with Dark Mark as like vulnerable people being like, I'm going to learn alongside you. We're going to grow and change. And I'm so excited to watch you grow and change in our life. And I'm going to support you and try to get to know you in each version of yourself. Because if you're the same person when you were 21, we probably aren't going to last. But rather than that mentality, I think we go into marriage with like an idea of what we think a husband or a wife should be. And then when they don't hit that, you're constantly disappointed because we've had these creations of who they should be.
And it's not always just necessarily that role of husband and wife, but it's also like the type of person.
Soulmate.
Or no, the type of person that you thought you were marrying.
Or that you hoped you were marrying. Because how the fuck can you know who they are
crazy.
when they're 20-something? You cannot.
It's crazy.
You cannot know who they are because you got to marry the person who accepts you as you are and who you will be, because you can't be that person. Like, I'm not that person.
It's no fucking wonder that 50% end up in divorce, and then there's another large percent that don't want to be in the marriage at all. That is so natural.
Especially if they're not willing to watch you grow. Like, how can you have children, life, deaths, heartache, heartbreak, and be the same person that you were? Like, you're gonna change. Do you like the person they become? And if they don't change, well, that's fucking terrible too, because then you're stuck with someone who never evolved.
And then you did, so you guys are totally unaligned now.
I really think the questions in marriage is not like, what are the issues? It's like, who are you? Who am I? And do I still like you? Because if you can't grow through the change, then your issues are just like surface.
And if you don't grow and change, then you must be a robot, because you have to be affected.
Or stunted.
Yeah.
emotionally.
You should always be affected by life.
But you can get mad at people for what they become.
Mm-hmm.
And most people, when change happens or they grow and change, it's uncomfortable for them. So they have a right to be mad. Like, you are the one who changed, not me. Why did you change things? You know, like, it's to weight loss, to people cutting everything. It's like babies get pissed at you for cutting your hair.
It's so true.
Change is like the worst
Daddy
for
doesn't
people.
like it when my hair's straight.
Exactly. It's just this weird thing that people have their own, but it's their own shit, not yours. I will say our spouses have been really good at growing and changing, but I think they have to reconcile.
But we must have seen that back then, because that can't be a coincidence that they're both kind of like that. And I do remember that one of the things that he liked about me was my rebellion. And I have the stupidest example that I bring up all the time. And I swear to God, it is one of the reasons I married him.
And then now he'd say no.
Now he'd say no.
And my husband said yes. And she was like, I would marry you. And he was, you would marry me right now for this? And she's like, yes.
Isn't that such a stupid thing? But it honestly changed my perception of him. Basically, I'd fly into New York, and then we would drive. He lived in Connecticut, and it was a long drive, and it was a lot of traffic. And I'm a rebellious person, and I wasn't the driver, but I was like, that'll be a long drive. I wish I had a drink in the car to drink so I could keep drinking. And he was like, okay, let's stop you and get you something. If I was in a movie, it would be like, then the symphony plays and the hearts go everywhere.
It's like, I never knew that was the way your heart, an open can of liquor in the car.
But really what it was is, you're willing to break the rules.
I know.
I like that.
I know that.
So that's why I married Mark.
Because he said yes to opening a can of liquor in the car.
And when
he didn't even know.
And when your husband said yes that time, no time soon, this was 100 years ago, we were on a dirt road, no one was there. I was like,
I mean, and that they weren't drinking. It was yeah.
But I was like, oh,
okay, I didn't know that was for you.
I like that for you.
I didn't.
And you know what my husband said? You did that in the car?
I know. See, he changed.
Yeah, he needs to get back to that. I do not. I like a rebel.
Oh,
I'm
dear.
not saying
but you can't change him. You have to let him grow and change too.
But he was more rebellious before.
I know, but he grew and changed, just like you grew and changed.
Well, you shouldn't become more conservative. You should become more wild.
You should him.
So, fuck you. You know, one thing I just can't get over is, you don't think anyone would want to marry us. I want to dig deeper to that on a personal conversation. Okay,
I just don't think that anybody would. I think they just want. I think they definitely sleep with you. They know I'm lazy, so I'm probably out of the question.
I'm fucking lazy too.
I feel like
you don't think any of them. Okay, any of my ex-boyfriends would trade in their wife for me?
Nope. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. I think that we clean up really nice. I think.
Do our husbands know that, like, we're hotties, or are they used to us?
I mean, you tell him all the time, and I tell him all the time.
But we are, like, we've aged well.
I think so. I mean, but I don't know our market value. I told you this. I don't know.
I know.
I mean, I don't think I don't know. Like, I don't like. I'm not sure. Like, I haven't heard anyone talking lately. Like, oh, look at that MILF.
I know, but I look at myself and yourself, and I think, shit.
I know, but I also think that it's all relative. Like, when I see a 16-year-old driving, I'm like, are you 10? So do they look at us? I'm like, yes,
a hot old lady.
We're old.
I know.
Because
that's okay.
You know why?
But that's okay. That doesn't mean that we're not hot.
Remember, for an old guy, that guy was hot.
I
Remember
know.
that conversation?
I know, but
and they were not that young, by the way. They were not that young.
Just because we're old, it doesn't mean we're not hot. For our age.
That's disgusting.
Stop it. We have to go.
We're actually 4 hours.
I just wanted you to know, like, yeah, okay, we're old, but we can still be hot.
I didn't say we couldn't.
But you're like, oh, no.
I'm just saying hot is relative. We're hot to maybe as like to
You don't think teenage boys?
Oh, I don't think so.
Apparently the MILF thing is huge right now.
Yeah, I think it's just a trend. I think maybe we could go.
We're just a fetish again.
Yeah. But you know, do you see what's walking down the street? Like, no, we're fine. They're like, yeah, that's fun. Mm-hmm. But they're not.
Oh my gosh, guys, we are doing a podcast right now with a guest. We're getting on with him 1 minute.
We're going to ask him what he thinks about MILFs. Yeah. Let's ask. We're going to ask him about MILFs.
How do you know your market value?
How do you know your market value? Thank you for joining this intense podcast.